Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews, and this is Generation X Politics. And this video is sponsored by contribution from Amanda, aka Snowflake. And pardon my voice, I'm a little under the weather this weekend. So, here's her story. Here's an update since I haven't done one in a while, and it's a good time to do one. Things were going really well with work, and I had my 9-month evaluation. I got high scores on it, and I got a raise. The 21st of this month is supposed to be my year anniversary with the company. However, the loss prevention lady from corporate... The loss prevention lady from corporate is out for blood and is investigating a ton of people. A bunch have already been fired. As you know, the last store I worked at was a joke, and they broke lots of rules. Yeah, I know loss prevention from your company. I know how it operates. I mean, it's mostly the loss prevention lady. She does nothing but internal cases, employee theft, rules, regulations. They get a ton of reports based off your number, your employee ID number. Where they go, where they look, and then they go out and they start interviewing people and start talking to people for dishonesty and other issues. This was exactly part of what I did for a very long time. Unfortunately, I was trained to think certain things were okay to do. But now I find out it was policy violations. Well, if you were trained a certain way, that's not on you. That should be on the managers. So I'm being investigated, and I had an interview with LP and my boss yesterday. There wasn't final word yet, but I know this corporate lady has been firing people over the smallest things. If you're not suspended, if you're still working and you're not suspended, you're not under any real suspicion of doing anything. They wouldn't let you on the floor. If it was something that they were going to terminate you over, they'd suspend you on the spot. That's how they work, especially in your company. For things that they sell there, for obvious reasons, they have to have additional safeguards. So you might be able to say to me, I told you so. It's possible that everything will be fine, but you know how retail goes. The bad people seem to be preferred over the good ones. Well, and the bad people also know how to twist the rules. You know, if what you're saying is that you were trained a certain way, I hope you told LP that and didn't try to cover for the manager. I can't tell you how many investigations that got drawn out and people got fired, not for violating policy, but for lying for the manager, covering that the manager told them to do it. It's you, like at Macy's, it was always, you know, futzing around with the credit system, with credit applications, because you had to have a certain amount of credit applications, or else they hit you with a negative score. It was really, really unfair trying to push 31.5% interest rates on people during a recession. And what the managers would do, we'll just make up numbers and just make up people, and that's what these girls would do. Like, why are they all doing it? Oh, because Donna, the manager, told them to. That's why. And they're all lying for her because it's all some kind of nasty little fucking cabal down there. Retail. The retail pond. Before all this, my boss was talking about making me assistant store manager once the current one passes his store manager test. But recently, the assistant manager's mom had a stroke and had to leave the state to take care of everything, so I had to carry the weight of the store. Only me and him work hard for our boss, so I've been overworking myself already. Ollie, how do you handle the feeling of hopelessness that comes from living through everything we have from childhood until now? By the way, I'm still no contact with Sauron despite all this. You might get another story from me since I work in 45 minutes. Now, she sent this to me last month, but I didn't get it, so she resent it with an update. So here's the update before I even get into what she asked. Corporate decided not to fire me after they investigated me for almost a month. I told you. They realized I was telling the truth about not knowing I was breaking policy. They realized it at the time, otherwise they wouldn't even have let you out on the selling floor. They would have suspended you if they didn't believe you. They knew they had as you said, they knew they had management problems in the past, and that's what they were going for. Long story short, there was a handful of times I used my own card to help customers pay for their items if they were short a few. Why? Why would you do that? Why? Don't be a sucker. Don't be a sucker, Amanda. If somebody can't pay, they can't pay. It is not your responsibility. And I can tell you exactly why. If you used your own card, that flagged on an exemption report because you probably rang it under your own employee ID number, and then that flags, it looks like you're ringing up your own sale, which is a fireable offense in every company that I know of. That is a fireable offense. Because it's usually 90% and 95% of the time some kind of internal dishonesty. I used my own card to help pay for their items if they were short a few dollars and seemed to need those things. I didn't know that using my register login and my card in the same transaction would be breaking company policy. You log into a register with your ID number, they know every time you even open the register. They know every time you punch a key on it. There is a report for it. It's just your company, there's so many employees and there's so little LP, a lot of it falls through the cracks. But eventually you're going to flags on a report when a store becomes out of control. Like it sounds like your store did. No management, poorly trained, futs in the system. That's not on the associates. That's on management. Basically, it makes it appear as if you're ringing yourself up, and that could lead to other suspicions. The investigation was closed without incident or a write-up due to the fact that they matched all the transaction with my card to the footage, and they saw that none of those transactions were given discounts, and none of the items were purchased for my own benefit. Right. And it's also what... Damn it. Voice. It's just throat. It hurts still. I thought it was over it. What it should show you is that everything is on video, and it is saved to hard drive, it is saved to DVR, and they will go back and match those transactions in high definition. Just because somebody is stealing at the time doesn't mean that somebody isn't watching and they're not going to get caught. If they could go back and match individual transactions, which I could do when I left 10, 12 years ago. Okay, I can imagine what the technology is up to now. Okay. It basically makes it appear as you're ringing yourself up, and that could lead to other suspicions. The investigation was closed without incident or a write-up due to the fact that they matched all transactions with my card to the footage, and they saw that none of those transactions were given discounts and none of the items were purchased for my own use or benefit. However, during all of this, a lot of other things happened that took a huge toll on my mental health. My friend who used to work for me is going through a divorce, so she hasn't been available. And my best friend has decided to ghost me when I was in desperate need of support. Then my PayPal gets hacked and my bank account gets drained to the negative. I'm still fighting and dealing with that, so I'm trying to get by in life without money right now. My credit got destroyed. Soren started harassing me again. Twinkie and his, I assume, boyfriend have been trying to get me to respond. Yeah, no. All the stress and the trauma I'm still working through, and just everything else being added caused me to have a dangerous breakdown. It almost resulted in a suicide attempt. Amanda, come on, man. Don't do that. Luckily, I've learned things from you. I was able to force myself to work through my emotions in a healthy way without harming myself. Well, I'm very glad to hear that since you first sent me the letter a month ago and you were able to work through it without even hearing back from me. I wish I had seen it and I gotten it. So I saw the donation. I didn't. Thought you were waiting on. I thought you were. Luckily, I learned things from you. But the good thing is, maybe it was for the better, Amanda, because you got it. You got through whatever you got through it on your own. You didn't need me to hold your hand and walk you through it. Okay? And that's better than anything. I mean, we have to go through some bad for the good to come out on the other side. You know, it's just. Luckily, I've learned things from you. I was able to force myself to work through my emotions in a healthy way without harming myself. So that was 2 weeks ago. Fast forward to Tuesday, 10/6. I got into a fight in the early AMs with my best friend because he was still ghosting me off and on, and I finally had it. I'm going to tell you this, Amanda. I mean, it's very hard for women to be friends with men. Okay? Best friends with men. It's tough. And it's tough for women to be friends with women. I told him, I guess I'll talk to you in the future. Maybe. After I sent that, I went to sleep. I woke up 4 hours later to my phone going off continuously. It was a bunch of his friends calling me on Messenger. I was told Jeff was in the hospital due to chest pain. You don't need the histrionics. Okay, Amanda, you're in your 20s. I'm sure he's young. Okay, nobody in their 20s is having heart like this. The histrionics. All right, I'm gonna keep reading because these are exactly the type of people. Okay, even though you've made so much progress, you still got to clue in on these red flags when you see them. And number one with these men is another histrionic male. Another histrionic, and I guarantee you the same as Twinkie Binky on the down low type of bullshit. With hanging out with a bunch of other histrionic males. If he's in the hospital with chest pains, why are his friends calling you? What are you supposed to do about it? Like, this is histrionic, okay, Twinkie-like behavior. Histrionic men on the down low. Again, it's another fucking red flag, Amanda. Another red flag. Get this guy out of your life. It's better to be alone than to be dragged down into a fucking pit by these people. I mean, you're 23, 24 years old. What are you supposed to do here? You're taking, just like you put yourself in the jeopardy with these customers, paying for them if they didn't have enough money. Stop making everybody else's problem your problem. Worry about yourself. It was a bunch of his friends calling me on Messenger. I was told Jeff was in the hospital due to chest pains. I was being asked if he's ever had health episodes with his heart before. You're not his mother. Why are they asking you? You're not his mother. You're his caregiver now. Stop taking on responsibility that isn't yours. Not your responsibility. Not your problem. As I'm trying to reply while also trying to wake up and figure out what the hell's going on, I get a series of messages saying he had a heart attack. They're doing CPR on him. And then the last one, Jeff died. How old was this guy? It's been nothing but chaos and hell. His family disowned him years ago. He was homeless. There was no next of kin besides his 14-year-old dog. Jesus, he's an old man, Amanda. Amanda, he's an old man. You're a young girl. Why are you hanging out with an old man? There will be no funeral and no goodbye. I'm trying to stay strong for everyone, and I'm trying not to allow the guilt of the last conversation I had with him to consume me. All right, Amanda, sweetheart, listen to me. Listen to me. This is not your problem. This is not your fault. This is, again, another extension of your childhood abuse where you are taking on problems that don't belong to you. You're a 23-year-old girl trying to get her life going. Why are you hanging? Are you calling him your best friend or your friend? I get it. You want to have compassion for him. But this is an old guy. He's got to be if he's got a 14-year-old daughter, he's got to be my age or older, right? And if he's having at the age that he's having a heart attack, you're having a fight with a man who should be giving you guidance. And yet, you're having a fight with him like you're having a fight with Twinkie. Why? Because he's probably was just an older version of Twinkie. I don't like seeing anybody die like that. I'm sorry he's dead. And I know you had some sort of friend, but it wasn't a healthy, it's not a healthy relationship, Amanda. It's not. It's not. It's better to be alone than to keep latching on to the same abuse that you're trying to get away from childhood, dear. It is what it is. You did this on your own. You were able to get past the whole stress of not knowing what's going on with your job. You're stronger than you think. You are so strong. Stop making other people's problems your problem. Stop. And it's your empathy, and it's you don't want to be viewed poorly. You shouldn't be hanging around at your age men who are dying of heart attacks with 14-year-old daughters. You're probably closer in age to his daughter than you are to him. You still got red flags all over the place, Amanda. All over the place. And you're a strong girl. I know you can get past them. Okay? But just because somebody doesn't have money at your register, all right, and you're fighting with a 40, 50-something-year-old man and he has a heart attack, these are not your problems. And if his friends are calling you, you're a 20-something-year-old girl, why are they calling you? Well, he has no family, no friends. And here you are, you're taking all this responsibility and burden that you don't need to. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. And I know this is going to be tough. Okay, you need to learn to be content with yourself and being alone. You have to be happy with yourself first before you can bring anyone else into your life. Because all the people that are still lingering on are still dragging you down and are still toxic to you. So, I hope that helps. I'm glad, but you're showing so much strength on one end, okay? You have to get past this that everybody else's problem is my problem, because it's not. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for another contribution and story, Amanda. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like me to expose, you'd like to have a private video made, or you'd like to set up a Skype or a phone call, or you'd just like to make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all of this goes away, as this channel is 100% demonetized from YouTube. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Generation X Politics. Take care.